Welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. I am back, and this is just a kind of chill live where we're going to discuss a variety of topics. It is a lot that is going on, okay? I was like, now, wait a minute. We got to talk about some of this. Make sure you hit the like button. Let everyone know that we are live, okay? Also, if you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, or buy a coffee. And my Cash App is scrolling on the screen. Okay, if you don't want to do it one way, okay, it's various ways. But thank you all for your support. Make sure you hit the like. That is for free. Let's see who we have here so far. Hey, Nita, welcome. Thank you for joining and for being first in the building. I appreciate it. Hey, Shelly, welcome. Thank you for joining. My girl, Dreamy Girl, is in the building. Thank you for joining, sis. Hey, Joanne, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi, Pammy Pooh, welcome. Okay, let's see if I caught everyone. Hi, Janelle, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I hope that all is well. Okay, hi, Karen. Thank y'all for joining, ladies. So, y'all, we have a variety of topics. Oh my goodness, it's a lot. So, one topic that I did want to talk about, and I know we've been talking a lot about Malcolm Jamal Warner in that particular case. There have been no updates since this morning. Okay. Hey, my girl Key One is in the building. Congratulations, sis, on your channel and your growth. Y'all, she doing her thing. And I am so proud of her doing her thing over there with her reality shows and reactions and so forth. So y'all make sure you check out my girl Key One J, okay, that's on the move. So I know we've been talking a lot about Malcolm Jamal Warner. Now, today I noticed that TMZ had posted, hey, D, welcome, that Ozzy Osbourne, he has had his funeral, and they had pictures from with his wife, Sharon, and his children leaving, and it's so sad. Girl. You silly. Okay. Hey, Tony, welcome. And they had pictures of the family. And so I was sitting there and I'm like, man, that's so sad. And just kind of witnessing his last moments and so forth. He was just talking about how much pain he had been in, at the end. And really from a surgery that he said he probably wouldn't have had so many issues with his back and the pain that he was going through, probably had he not had the surgery. He thought the surgery would have fixed it. And so towards the latter part of his life, he just kind of talked about the different pain that he was in. And but I can say, y'all, even from the times when I used to watch Sharon on the show, her talk show, Sharon loved her husband. Okay. You could tell she deeply loved her husband and her children, knowing that they had different struggles at different times. Hi, Nina, welcome. But you could tell in the pain on one of the photos that they shared, the pain on her face, y'all. I know no matter how much you try to prepare for the loss of a loved one, that reality hits and sets in when you go to that funeral. Okay, that they're no longer going to be here. So my prayers are up for the Osbourne family. as they are going through this time of grieving over the loss of Ozzy Osbourne. Um, hey, Love Me For Real, welcome. Another thing that it made me think about, y'all, because remember that week that Ozzy Osbourne passed away, we actually heard about Malcolm Jamal Warner before that. And so um, I was like, man, just the timing of this, how we are hearing about Ozzy's funeral and his loved ones are now able to lay him to rest and so forth, and he passed away after Malcolm Jamal Warner. And now we're dealing with trying to find out what happened. Did his body ever make it back to the US? When is the funeral? Like none of that, we don't even know those details yet. So it just made me think about that. So and prayers up for his mother, because even regardless of the wife situation, aside from that, this was her child. And I can only imagine like hearing all these different stories about that, and trying to figure out what happened to your child. And that's a hard phone call. And that's already hard in itself to deal with the loss. But then on top of that, to have to find out what happened is a whole different story. So y'all make sure, we keep her lifted in prayer. She was on my heart when I was coming home earlier, after we've been talking about this. And I was like, man, I just pray for his mom, because I know that she's probably going through a difficult time. And she hasn't really had like a formal statement made, and I know she probably not even thinking about that part right now. Hi, Mrs. X, welcome. She's probably not even thinking about that. She'll probably come out when she's ready. And to be honest, I don't think she was as public either. I know we talk a lot about he kept his wife kind of private and his daughter, but I don't think his mom was just out front like that either. So when people are typically private, then they probably won't be out, making a whole lot of statements and things like that. Hey, sweetness, welcome. So prayers up for the Ozzy Osbourne family and the Malcolm Jamal Warner family. And also, we found out about Hulk Hogan that same week, too. And y'all, some of the posts and things, I was like, oh, Lord. Now, I did like No Holds Barred. That was one of my favorite movies with Hulk Hogan in it. But y'all, interesting enough, his daughter, Brooke, said she had asked to be taken out of his will. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh my gosh. So she didn't even want his money. Oh, thank you, Nina. Whose anniversary? Now I know we had one Saturday. So are you giving me a belated happy anniversary? Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that if that was for me. Sweetness said, I feel like God is coming open. It just feels like, yeah, it's just so much. And then when they share the pictures, the AI pictures, y'all think about how many of the Black men that we had grown to love through either movies or even TV shows have now transitioned to the other side. They had one picture where it was Kobe, Tupac, uh, Chadwick Boseman, and they were welcoming Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I said, wow, it's like more on the other side than here now, because it's a lot of people, y'all. When I tell you, thank you, Lena, I appreciate that. When I tell you life is just short to just be out here living any kind of way and doing anything, girl, I'm like, yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful tribute. It's just crazy. And so that's what's been happening on that side. And then I saw a few minutes ago that y'all remember Shannon Sharpe had the lawsuit, right? And so he had taken hiatus from the ESPN, and I think at the end of April. And so he told everyone he was going to take a break so he could work out the details of this lawsuit. Well, child, he had gotten a little quiet, and he thought that, if he gets quiet, it's just gonna go away. Well, he didn't respond in court. His lawyers and things didn't respond in court to the lawsuit. He had always kind of said, and maintained his innocence in this, and really just did not talk too much about it. But the next thing we knew was he has settled the lawsuit. Now, we don't know, it's supposed to be an undisclosed amount. So we don't really know technically how much it was settled for. But Tony Bugsby, the girl's lawyer, was happy. Okay, so they may not have gotten 50 million, but they probably got a good number close to it. It definitely was more than 10 million because she didn't even want to settle for 10. Maybe he met them halfway. Okay, I don't know. But I guess Shannon probably assumed that once he settled this and got through that he was going back to his job. No, ESPN has now fired him. He is no longer going to be a part of ESPN. Love Me For Real said, my mom always said death comes in threes for completion of God. Right. And that was so ironic that you said that, because that week, once we heard about Malcolm and Ozzy, I said, I told my husband, I'm like, who's going to be next? And lo and behold, Hulk Hogan. My husband was telling me about people passing away. I mean, like back to back. I was like, I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to know anymore. Hi, Brittany. Welcome. Thank you, Dreamy Girl. Those are various ways if you would like to support the channel that you are able to do so. Hey, new beginners with Rosie and kids. How are you, sis? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so now, y'all, I just hate that Shannon did that because it just puts a bad look out there. Okay. It's a bad look. And people tried to warn him. I hope he will take the advice that people were trying to give him. No, Brittany, he's not. They have officially let him go. Okay. Which we saw that coming. We saw that coming. Um, and so I guess he'll continue to keep his Club Shay Shay because he's getting a hefty contract with Club Shay Shay. People come on there to really let it out. Okay, that liquor got them talking on Club Shay Shay. Y'all know that's where Cat Williams, he laid it all out. Okay, so it's just a bad look. It's just a bad look. We had to hear how nasty, just like with the Diddy trial, y'all. We had, although Diddy was not found guilty on two of the charges, well, like half and half, not guilty and guilty. It was like a half and half verdict, which we're going to get into that. But regardless, sir, we had to hear all your nasty business. Okay, I got tired of hearing about baby oil, freak offs, booties, I got tired of hearing about all of that. Okay. So now, Shannon, we've had to hear of some nasty details and how really, and you know what? ESPN probably would not have let him go had he not told that girl he would choke her too. I think that took it to another level, and they probably just did not condone that type of behavior. Oh, happy belated birthday, Rosie. I did not know that. I think because he took it there with the choking part on that audio, I think that put the nail in the coffin. And so then he had all the other nasty stuff going on. So I'm hoping that was a hefty price to pay for a mistake. Okay, some stuff you like, dang, I ain't making that mistake again because it costs too much. Okay, so I don't know. I just hope he learned his lesson. He need to leave these young girls alone. Okay, because baby, I truly still feel that she set him up for that. I truly feel it, but he fell into the trap. He actually, in my opinion, fell into that trap. Thank you. Yes, it was July 28th. I'm 35 years young. Okay, girl, you are young. Yes, happy belated. Yeah, so he fell into that trap. So I don't know. We'll see. He'll still make his money. He'll still make his money, but that was a hard price to pay for that. Then y'all, how Mrs. E Diddy, as speaking on him, he pretty much is trying to now get out of jail. Okay, his attorneys have submitted paperwork that they want him to be released prior to the sentencing hearing, which is scheduled for October. Okay, now I don't know what kind of game they are playing because they wanted to have this the sentencing moved up, and they were supposed to have like a hearing to have it moved up. Well, then the day of the hearing, the lawyers they decided that they were just going to leave it alone and just let it stay in October. Y'all could have just moved the hearing up. If you wanted to get out, it could have submitted paperwork or whatever you had to do to see if he would give you bail then, you know. So he's been in this little therapy program since he's been in there. He's been in this therapy program. And I don't know if he's doing that just so the judge can say, oh, well, you know, since he's been taking this, having therapy and things like that, he'll be a little more lenient on him or what, you know, y'all know it's all a game. Well, during the last part of his trial, the current president was loosely throwing it out there that, you know, if Diddy was not given a fair, he felt it wasn't a fair trial, he would consider giving him a pardon. Okay. Well, now, allegedly, he has been in contact or seriously considering possibly giving Diddy a pardon. So it's almost like, you know, that he's been throwing that out. They're trying to see if the Diddy's lawyers can talk to him and see about getting him a pardon because he, you know, because of the sentence, he wasn't found fully guilty of everything. Okay. My thing is, I believe he needs to sit this out because I don't think he's going to get a lot of time anyways. I wouldn't waste a pardon on someone that we already know guilty. Okay. And that doesn't have a long time. Now I can see if someone was wrongfully accused or they are about to, you know, have a death chamber. You're trying to see, oh, let me see if, you know, we can try to get a pardon from the president and so forth. I get that. But sir, if you got to sit in there a year and a half, sit that out because it's so much more time you probably should have got. Okay. Love me for real, said OB. I believe in my heart that this Diddy trial is a huge distraction from the reality of what is going on now. Exactly. And you know, hold on, y'all, 1 second. Even during that Diddy trial, y'all, that's when the big beautiful bill passed. Okay. Everybody was so caught up. We were watching for updates, watching CNN, all of the YouTubers trying to keep up with what Diddy had going on. And y'all, lo and behold, a whole bill was passed. Okay, with a lot of stuff in it that are going to affect a variety of groups of people. Okay. So yes, I do think every time things are focused on something, like we're focusing on this Malcolm Jamal Warner situation, and things like that, here comes Diddy. I said, now wait a second. Where did Diddy's name pop up? What is going on? I thought he was in jail waiting on October. And now, out of nowhere, here we go. His name pops up. He's trying to get out of jail. No, sir, sit it out. Okay, at least sit out to October. That's not too much longer. So, I mean, he's itching to get out and get to these freak offs properly. Okay. I'm just like, I don't know. Do y'all think that Diddy won't serve that much time? I think he won't. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't think he would get over probably 2 years, probably 2 to 3 years, and he's already been in there almost a year. So they would probably consider that part time served, and maybe he'll serve maybe another 1 year, maybe, possibly. Hey, Jessica, welcome. Okay, right, Jessica, and the Epstein thing. Okay, so we have to consider that the Epstein list. What's her name? Good, Ghislaine. She's been talking. Okay, to Congress. Trump. He's trying to get ahead of it. Saying that they're trying to set him up. If his name is in that list, people are trying to set him up. Sir, stop. Okay, there are pictures of you at parties with the man. Okay, you have seen that island. Okay, probably didn't think that we would be here in this moment in time. Just admit. See, my thing is this: if you know you've done wrong, this is how I am. If I know I've done something wrong, I will tell on myself. Okay. I think if you tell on yourself and get it over with, maybe the consequences won't be as bad. Okay, people will be easier on you. I just tell them myself. You don't have to tell. I'll tell them my own self. Okay, so just go ahead and just be upfront. Tell the people what you've done. Be honest, be transparent. That's my thing. But I think they thought this all would go away. Just like with Malcolm Jamal Warner. I think they felt that it would just go away once they came out and said, oh, he died from an accidental drowning. Not knowing that different stories and stuff would come out and people would start questioning it. Okay. So then that is like, oh my gosh, how do we fix this? There's too much talk about it. So now these lists, okay, y'all know he's gone. So people thought when he was gone, that's it. They put her in prison. We shouldn't hear no more about this. Well, it's popping up again. Okay. It's popping up again. And now they're trying to get things unsealed. They're trying, all of that. So it's not going away, y'all. It is pretty much about to be a whole thing that's going to come out about this. Now, my thing is this: even if they do bring all of this up, what are you going to do about it? You see what I'm saying? What exactly is the plan? Even if you found out that he was on an island or was on that list, then what? Nothing's going to happen. I mean, it's something to talk about for a day and everybody move on. So I don't even know what the big deal is. I'm just being honest. I wish people could tell me that, because what's the big deal about it? Just like they have probably recordings of Diddy and the people that were at his house during the freak-offs, celebrities, all kind of people. Okay, so everybody thinking, oh, during the trial, we're going to hear about some of this. No, what's going to be done about it? Nothing. Okay, so what's the point? I don't even know why are they wasting time talking about it? Y'all not going to do nothing. Just like y'all didn't do nothing with this trial. Okay, they're not going to do nothing if they find out who's on a list, nothing is gone. Okay, and the ones who are still here, they are probably scared of them. So they're not going to do anything. Just like with we were talking about Sunday with Whitney Houston. All of the stuff that came out after the fact. What do you get? Huh? Okay, pour it in the cup. After the fact, what did they do about it? Nothing. Okay, so that's how I don't even try to be pessimistic about that. But y'all, we've seen how this rolls. Okay, we've seen how it rolls. I don't even know what the confusion is, what the conversation is about, because nothing is going to be done. I'm just being honest. Even if they come out and say he was there 50,000 times, he's still going to be president. He's not going to jail, because if you can be have a whole felon in there now, we already know that there's a huge problem. Okay. So if that problem was not fixed, nothing is going to come of this. I don't care how she gets out and talks about this, telling on everybody. They don't care. They're not going to impeach him. He's going to continue to be the president with no consequences. That's how it is. It's so sad. So I know that that's just been, a current topic, though, recently about, the files and stuff like that. Let's see what else. Those are like the main updates. Let's see. Key One said, I'm praying for those who testify against him. Girl, I really don't even think anyone's going to testify against him. I'm going to be honest. I don't care. I'll sit back. I could be wrong. I'm going to sit back and just watch. But I don't think anyone will testify against him. I don't even think it's going to get to that point. Like, I'm being honest. Just watch and see. I mean, Mrs. X, do you think so? Because I really do not think so. I don't think it will get to that. I think that right now this is a conversation that's being had. He may actually pardon her, give her some type of soft, soften her up. If he tell her he can pardon her. I pray justice is found for those who are found guilty. Right. Okay. Because I don't think anything will be done to him. The ones who against Diddy. Well, in my opinion, girl, like the ones who did testify against Diddy, if you notice, they didn't go all in on him. Like they told some stuff. But then when it got to the defense attorney, they started like softening up, and it was all, well, I would work for him again, or, I still love him, or, he's a good guy. So that didn't look like you were afraid, or it just made it look some type of way. There seems to be no justice in it. Oh, right, Mrs. X. I agree. Yep, I definitely agree. So I think that they went as far as they knew they could go. Key One. I don't think anyone told anything we probably didn't already know. Because we got sick and tired. We probably got more of the details of the freak offs. But other than that, a lot of the stuff that we really want to know that he did, no one's going to bring out that information. No one's going to talk about the involvement if he was involved with Tupac's murder or Biggie. Like the stuff we really want to see with him, nobody's going to talk about that. No. They'll rather talk about the freak offs. They're not going to look into that part. So it's so sad. It really is. But I don't know. It's crazy, y'all. It's a lot just going on right now. So many different updates and things with Malcolm and so forth. Cause I know I've been kind of on YouTube, like going into other channels and just kind of hanging out in the bushes when I get some downtime, because I've been busy myself and trying to research and then do my own work. Let's see. Hey, Danielle. She said no minors, no politicians, no famous people, no midgets, nothing. Okay. I'm telling you. Shannon Sharpe got fired. Yes, we talked about that. Yep, he did. And that's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate. But, hey, I think they see their consequences. He saw it. Jonathan Majors saw it. Okay. I'm telling you. Oh, I got you. Uh-huh. Right. Okay. They saw that there are consequences to your actions. But certain people, it's no consequences. And so just the fact of the matter that Diddy thinks, oh, he could do whatever he was doing and all of this, and oh, I deserve to get out and all that. It's just a whole uh privileged lifestyle, and the attitude behind it. Yeah, Cat Williams tried to warn him. Yes. And Monique did too. Monique tried to warn him too. Hey, B, welcome. She said, good afternoon. Taking a quick break at work. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Yes, girl, we are. I hope you are as well. Kat tried to warn him. Monique tried to warn him the next interview, but he wasn't listening. And I don't care what color a person is. It was just the age for me. Like, come on now. You got to in the status. Okay, so if you're rich, you're up here with millions of dollars. You got to, if you're gonna be with somebody, be with someone that has something to lose too. Okay, now this young girl, she wants to come up. Okay, so she was waiting for you to slip up. I would not have been with someone that young and then already have something really going for them, because you are the one that's going to lose it. She has nothing to lose, but she had everything to gain. She was young, very much privileged, but his day is coming. Right. Exactly. And girl, I've been watching Divorce Sisters. I love it. How many of y'all watching Divorce Sisters? I love it more, I think, than the other sisters. Okay, I'm gonna be at least this one to me is a little more dramatic and you can follow it. I haven't even tapped into the new season of Sisters yet. B said spent more settling a lawsuit and retiring an OnlyFans chick than he said he would spend on his own daughter's wedding. You better say it, clock it. Okay? I'm telling you, you are right. But hey, that was a hefty price to pay for that. I hope the cootie was good, because baby, okay, you put a high price. I mean, millions of dollars worth. Okay, and no NDA good for him. It is what it is. I love the name. She was young and he was dumb and full of Okay. Is it true that was Kat Stack's daughter? Oh, I don't know. I didn't know whose daughter that was. And now that would be funny. She made that money out of there. The new EP is Sisters is Good and Triggering. Did I watch the new one from last week? I think I watched the new one. They have some serious topics in that. Yeah. But it's good. I like it. Man, yeah. That last episode I watched was really good. Yes, you definitely have to watch it. If you have not been watching it, it's really good. And the reality is some people go through that in real life. Is they go through some of the stuff that they're discussing on there, and some of the people on there are really divorced. So I know that they can really play those roles when you are really in something that you've gone through. You really bring that fire. Yeah, it really is good. Yeah, I think I like this one better. Hold on 1 second. Oh, it's 95 degrees. Well, I think here, y'all, it got up to 104 degrees yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness. So I don't know what it is today. It's still hot, but when I went out earlier, it didn't feel as hot. And I'm gonna take the kids somewhere a little later. But baby, I do not go out unless I have to, because this heat is outrageous. Okay, it is outrageous. Let me just clock out. Okay. And then, y'all, there was another topic when I was talking about just going around and sometimes just peeping some things in various sectors. And I just wanted to, y'all, it just bothers me. I really just want to touch on this because it really bothers me. And I know like we have uh, beef in sectors and people going to get into it and beef, but it really breaks my heart when people just bring other people's children into things. Um, because they are not even a part of this. Like if you're gonna roast people and talk about people, like it just keep it between y'all, But bringing people's children into things takes it to another level. I'm talking about Sisters on BET. His storyline right now is doctors dismissing Black women's pain. Oh wow! And that happens in real life. That happens in real life. Um, you know, I this one topic, and it was a sensitive topic because there are women who have had babies, and when you talk about women and their babies, that's already um, a place that you don't want to go. Okay, and there are women that have had babies that have disabilities, right? They cannot control how their babies are going to come out. Just like a lady, and this is possible triggering moment, that has had a miscarriage cannot control that. And I've shared my story. I've had two. Okay. And so, especially if you have had one, but then to talk about someone else whose baby is has a disability, I just don't understand that. Like, to me, that is another form of being like really evil and going below the belt. Um, because you now there are things and choices that we can make that we know could affect babies, such as doing drugs or alcohol, things like that. But we never want to put out a narrative that people or women, I should say, are responsible for those things when they happen. Babies are a blessing, okay? And there are some things that we can't explain, only God knows. But to use that as a weapon to hurt someone is another level of evil to me. It's already bad enough talking about someone's child, but to talk about a disabled child that did not ask to be brought into this world like that, that is very demonic. Very demonic. Like, keep that between grown-ups, in my opinion. Like, if you're going to talk, if they're talking about you, talk about them back. But I think sometimes it gets to a point where people are trying to figure out a person's weak spot. And in trying to figure that out, they're trying to hit in a place that's going to really, really hurt. But in doing that, you're really hurting yourself. Okay, especially if you're taking it out on an innocent child, innocent children. You're really hurting yourself. God is definitely not pleased with that. And that just really has to stop. And I mean, I've seen that in various sectors. Like, I just don't know if I would just be able to sleep or have the heart to do that. You know, they did not actually be brought here like that. And it's been multiple times that some people go there. Like, if you said it once, okay, golly. But to keep saying it, that is horrific. Like, my mouth just dropped. Like, I don't even know what else to say. So it's like people just gotta give into account for their own things. Hi, Princess Allison. Thank you for joining. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I just didn't like that. I really don't. Of course, people they don't care about. I have to mute my other device. They don't care about your opinion or whatever. But for my platform, I just want to say, because that is a sensitive topic. for me and a lot of women. You know, you don't want to ever make a woman feel like she's responsible for something like that. You see what I'm saying? Because if you, now I know there are some mothers and the doctors have told them not to drink or not to, you know, it could affect. Sometimes it doesn't, you know. But if you are not, and you thinking that your baby is healthy, and then you find out that something is possibly wrong, that's not your fault. Okay. And so don't take that on. Just like if you have a miscarriage, that's not your fault. Because some women, y'all will be surprised by how many women carry that guilt. They think that they did something wrong. And that was one of the most freeing things that my doctor told me back then was it's not your fault. These things just happen. Hey, Mama Spirit, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay. And like we were just saying earlier, you know, y'all, life is just too short just to be mad every day, getting into it every day. I mean, even if we were to look at the situation with how Malcolm went over there thinking he was going to come back and so forth, like, and he's gone just like that, you know. So it's like just too much going on at one time, just for the extraness. Like, man, like you don't try to tell nobody how to live or what to do. But hey, from my platform, I am an advocate for children as well. Okay, I am in the field of education. So there have been times where I've had to stand up for children when their own parents weren't in the room. Okay, then come to the meetings or anything like that. And so I just feel that I felt a need to really bring that up just in case there is a mom out here that heard that or that has experienced that. It's not your fault. Okay? So don't let anyone use that as a weapon towards you. And when people do that, they're putting more on them, not the baby, but them for messing with and talking about innocent children. Princess, no, I really don't think it will be public. No, I really don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but I know I miscarried one of my twins 5 years ago, and I was told it was because of my vitamin C intake. I was craving orange juice and drinking almost 2 gallons a day. Oh, wow, 2 gallons. But even in that, I mean, I still wouldn't put, you know, the blame on those things. We just cannot control certain things. Um, wow. And that was just thinking about just the orange juice, just to have that craving like that for 2 gallons. Wow. But my condolences to you as a fellow angel mom. My condolences to you. Hey, Second Sin for you. Welcome. Don't know if it's true, but I was looking around and saw a title on a video that Malcolm was going to expose SA. Have you heard that? No, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that one. Mm-mm. The Divorce Sisters is good. The last episode. Yeah, it really was, Brittany. Yeah, I didn't know that people use vitamin V to induce an. Ooh, really? I didn't know that either. And that's sad. Why would you want to do that? Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying to speed it up. Okay. I thought you meant to read it. Yeah, man, that is so sad. But yeah, I don't know about that second sin for you, but I wouldn't put anything past because of how this all is happening. And y'all I told y'all this is funny. Moving back to the Malcolm this comment that second sin for you said, I told y'all I peeked in some of those tarot reading lives. It's like, see, I should have been in that peeking in that live. Hey Jay, welcome. Thank you for joining. We missed you, and I pray all is well. Y'all, why the one lady, I forget, I think Celestial, Tara or some, and the water was so pretty. And the water made me think about that live we did yesterday about the water. And so she was just like playing in the water, but she was doing her readings and things like that. And it was one point where she said something about a friend, Lamont. And I said, wait a second, was Lamont there? And my mom said, girl, you thinking too deep into this. I said, wait a second, who is Lamont? And then at the end of her reading, y'all, she said that allegedly that little girl was not Malcolm's. Now, I don't know how true all of that is. It was just me peeking into one of those lives. But I said, now wait a minute. Let me get up out of here because see, that's why I should not be in here. So I don't know. I do not know, but I know that was something I just happened to hear today. It's so many readings being done because I guess his name is in my algorithm. And so a lot of those videos are popping up. Not that I follow tarot readers or anything like that. But I think some of them are doing like all these different readings on him. And I can say some of them are on one accord though, with some of the fishiness and some of the things that we've been thinking that they are seeing, I guess, with the tarot readers. So I don't know how all this is about to go. But I know like as of yesterday, it's almost like they're turning against each other over there in Costa Rica between the OIJ and the chief of the tourist police. We talked about that kind of this morning, where now the tourist police is stating as if he was there and saw it with his own eyes that Malcolm's daughter was in the water with him. And the OIJ, he said they weren't here. So they interviewed the family, but the family was not here. And I'm like, what family? Okay, just say the wife. Is the wife the only family that went? Like, which family are they interviewing? Okay, so I don't know, y'all. Not thought about this. Is it possible that the OIJ, if they were interviewing the family, is it possible that they are the ones giving TMZ information? Because a lot of the information that they have is what TMZ was putting out. And could that be the reason that they knew about the phone call if his wife had come back to the States? Did she give an alibi to the OIJ during their interview when they were talking to the family? What all did the wife tell them? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird that they're now doubling down on this again, which I don't think is a big factor of whether the daughter was in the water or not. I'm happy that she's safe, right? But all of the other surrounding details, that's the issue. It's not so much as, oh, the daughter was in the water and we going back and forth about that. No. Who are all these other people that were around? I watched Supreme Medium Diviner, and she basically said it was foul play and it was something they put in his food and he was gone before he went in the water. Well, I've been hearing that. Some people have been saying that. And then also some people were saying that, was he given something that could have made him hallucinate and just not, know where it was or whatever. Because y'all, if you didn't watch that live last night, was it last night that we talked about? Yeah, last night. Oh my goodness. Y'all, we learned some new words. We learned at that homestay, the location where she was trying to do a homestay, the wife. Y'all, we looked into some of the stuff, the services they have there. Baby, they were into some deep stuff at that location. Okay. I don't think I would have been over there. But y'all got to check that live out. We learned so much last night about all of this. I just could not believe some of the what was it? Echo static dancing, kind of similar to being on ecstasy. You just moving your body around to the music. They talk about going to different energy levels. And you know what? Let me say this too. Because of the nature of all of that stuff, like what we were reading on in the magic and all of this stuff, that could be why a lot of the tarot, no offense to tarot readers or anyone that believes in that, I'm not, knocking, that's y'all's thing. I don't dibble and dabble in that. Now I peeked in a couple of those just to see if there's some confirmation. Okay. But they could be picking up on this because of the stuff that was taking place allegedly over at this place, this farm, this camp, whatever you want to call it. It looked like they dibbling, dabbling in all kind of stuff. Okay, hold on, y'all, 1 second. It is what it is. Said TMZ is on mute right now. They aren't even talking about Malcolm anymore. Makes me believe that it's more right, because you know that they would be on it to tell us more about the funeral or where the family is. See, with them, they're like, oh, we're the final word. Okay. So by them saying, oh, we've already told y'all this, nobody should be talking about it anymore. They look at YouTubers as probably the little people. Okay. Like, we done with this. We said his body was coming back Friday, and we're done with it. I don't think they expected all these questions, and everyone's still talking about this right now. Because guess what? That's going to have them looking bad, and that they have to get more into it. Okay? They don't want to do that. They really don't. Hi, Right Sound Studios. Thank you for joining. I feel bad for his 8-year-old daughter. She will grow up without her father. Yes. Prayers for her. Off topic, but Kenny. I use it for thumbnails. I actually use Clipchamp for videos. Okay, I'm not a pro like some people are pros. I'm still learning stuff. Okay. I don't really use Canva for that, but you can. Yes, you definitely can. I need to play around with it. But yeah, so I'm just like, um, it was just weird that all of a sudden they getting into it over there about who's right. But yes, right sound music. That's why music is used. Okay. And they said that there's a DJ, they start this low music. Cause I was reading about it, and then you just pretty much move to it and they change it to where you start going into a higher plane and start just moving all crazy like you're on ecstasy or something. But yeah, he was over the music, okay, in heaven and all of that. So my thing is, let's see, what was I about to say? I was about to say one other thing. I'm trying to remember what I was about to say. But oh yeah, I was about to say the police chief, the tourist police chief, he doesn't want a bad look on him because that new police station that they just built right there in that area, they have poured like $370 million into that police station. They just cut the ribbon in May. Okay. So imagine this is a huge investment to try to crack down on crime and things like that. And now you have a celebrity that has been found over there in the water unalived. Because he had, according to them, he had no vital signs. Okay. That he had no vital signs. And then my thing is this as well. Now, I want to know because they said that particular place did not have a lot of people because of the rip currents and things like that. Did these people, now I know one article said that the doctor and his wife were sitting on the beach. I just really want to know if they actually saw him walk into that water. Okay. Now, if that is the case, when they were in the water and allegedly he went in there with either the daughter or a friend, we still don't know who the friend is. Did something happen? You know, when waves are going, all these different waves are going. Let me show y'all a video. I was about to actually do, let me pull up a video of a rip current and a guy that was trapped. Okay. I was going to put this up as a short because I wanted to show. And this was a rescue team that was coming to rescue him. Okay, let's watch this. This took place in San Diego.
Keep it on code. He's right there off your location. He's a strong swimmer, but he's right in the neck of that rip. Copy, one guardian. Copy that. Stop. Sure, got it. All clear from Garden Water 1, water rescue. Flag copy.
Okay, so imagine they were out, would have had to, you know, you can't really see what's taking place in all of that water. Right Sound said, all that white, oh heck no, exactly. And they said sometimes what you can do is swim parallel to the beach to get out of there. Jay said someone stepped in the room, but yes, thank you, OB. We're doing much better today, and he's going home tomorrow. Praise the Lord. I am so happy to hear that. No, that wasn't of Malcolm, but I was saying that in one of those rip currents, it's so much water and things taking place. Y'all, you know, we've seen movies, okay, where people are pretending a certain thing, but something else is really happening. Like, and I know it was alleged that one of the men that helped, he had some bruises around his waist. Like, was there a struggle? Was there something happening in the water where we're saying, help, help, and he being pushed down or something? You know, it. Come on now. Things like that can happen, okay? So all we're asking is to be transparent. If they can look into what really happened. And then something else that was stated today from the update. Now, one of the guys who went in to help, the guy who went that was in critical condition, because they said he had got tired, because they said if you have to swim against these rip currents, it tires you out. So with him, he was able to put the daughter allegedly on a board and push her up to shore. Now, y'all saw all of that water. Do you think that he would have actually been able to put her on there and the board was just going to go straight and go to the sand? Like, to me, I couldn't picture that. Okay, but then saying when by the time he put her on the board and someone else came in to help because he saw the commotion, one of the doctors, he pushed the board up with her on it and she went up to the sand. And then the doctor came in, was trying to help him now, and Malcolm. He was getting winded. So the doctor helped him out By the time he came back, he looked, he saw a shadow and noticed that Malcolm was submerged under the water. And I just feel like being submerged under, like that part is still hard for me to believe. Like, how was he submerged? I should say. Oh my, that looks scary. This is why I stick to swimming pools. Right. Okay. Even when we go to the beach, I try not to go past where the sand, where you can firmly feel the sand. Okay. Hi, Catherine. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. I think they're covering for the school program, and she saw her dad and walked towards the water. He tried to get her and drowned. And that, you know what? Now I could see that. I could see that happening, that they were supposed to be watching the little girl, and maybe she saw her dad in the water, was trying to come. And by the time, if he was already in there, a rip current came, it could have carried her into the water. Okay. And bam, he trying to get her out. And that's when, all this sparked. Now that could be a very good, situation right there that I never thought of. Is it somebody that was supposed to have been watching her? Okay, because remember in that Teletica article that I was reading, it said that the women had gone shopping, but the friend stayed with the kids. Okay. Now, this friend that stayed with the kids goes into the water. Allegedly, let's picture that. The kids would have been on the sand. Is it possible that maybe the daughter saw something going on and was going out there into the water with her dad to try to help? And that's when all the commotion, when they got caught up and they started yelling for help. I mean, hey, I don't know. I just hadn't thought about that, but it could be, yeah, somebody may have been trying to watch the kids and they didn't watch them properly, and she got into that water. It's possible that Malcolm could have been hallucinating and started fighting the guy that was trying to help. Ooh, yep, that can happen too, Jessica. Mm-hmm. Imagine these huge wave pools at these amusement parks. People are fine, but one missed time jump and a few huge gulps of water in the mouth, people often panic. Yes. And I don't really let my kids get into, even if it's shallow, because I know they can't swim like that. But they have like these little kid pools where even when they come down the slide, they'll fall into the water. I get nervous even with that. Okay, because I know sometimes they say, oh, they could just stand up. Yeah, but hey, if you get too much water into your lungs, you have to be careful. And I know we went to this place called Great Wolf Lodge, and they had it like that. Baby, I was all up in that water. I don't care. I'm watching my kids. I'm here watching, catching, they come down the slide because I'm nervous, and my son already thinks he can swim. I'm like, hey, you might can, but I'm too scared to find out. Okay. He was smaller then. He was down there just to putting his head down under the water. I'm like, get up. So after that, I had to take him to the doctor. They said that he had swimmer's ear from him doing that, where you get this water that's stuck, in there, and they have to clean it out. I was like, oh my gosh, I could not believe it. So these kids, like you said, one quick thing. So it could have been, thinking on the lines of both of these scenarios, with one, the OIJ saying that she wasn't in the water, and then the tourist police saying that she was. Well, shoots, it could have been both. Maybe she wasn't in the water at one time, and then maybe she came into the water with her dad or trying to get to him. This may be out there, but based on the details of the play she reported last night, perhaps a session had him in a different state of mind and he went to the water. Second sin for you. Okay. Last night when we were talking about that, That's what I started thinking about. I really started thinking about that. I said, because those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, who weren't on that live, one of the retreats that they offered back in 2023, they laid out a plan. It was a 3-day retreat. And one of the days on a Sunday, they had where you could, I think they were doing, let me pull it up. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. So I want to show y'all what we were looking at. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so here was an example. Let me move the comment for right now. And this was an example of something that they offered there back in 2023. And it was an agro ecstatic retreat. Because what drew me to this picture was the pose in the move, you know, the way they're looking all zombified and things like that. And so I was looking, I said, okay, let's just say this was one of those weekends. Okay. Now this is back in 2023. So I went down to Sunday. And Sunday, it said that they do breakfast, they had ecosomatic practice, lunch, and a closing circle. Okay. And I'm looking like, oh my goodness. So yesterday, I didn't know what ecosomatic. Let me pull that. Let me see if I can go back to. Okay. Let me pull up what. I hope I get the same website because something that drew us. Let's see. Thank y'all for your patience. So I was trying to find the one that I had because it had a picture of the water that really drew me about it. I'll find it in a second. Let me see what y'all are seeing, y'all's comments. Okay, read that one. Read that one. His state of mind was not his baseline, and the conjured up something and things went wrong. And you know what? I don't know if you were in that live last night, but I said the same thing. I said, well, I hope that they weren't doing one of these little ritual things and something went wrong. Okay. I definitely had brought that up. I know it sounds off, but I'm putting the location and the resort details together and trying to make it make sense. Or perhaps something was ingested, right? Maybe intentionally or not intentionally, an altered state of being or consciousness. And that's what I was thinking. It may not have been anything intentional, but how do you explain that? If something went wrong and you didn't think it was going to go wrong, you're still wondering, oh my goodness, how are we going to explain this? Oh, okay, well, we're by the water. Just say he went in the water and he drowned. Okay, like freaking out because they're gonna be like, what were y'all doing out here? You know, and then you're talking about y'all did now. This was back in 2023, that little retreat, but then talking about circles. What y'all doing in these circles? Okay, little stuff like that. I would have found odd. I would have definitely found that odd. Okay, I found my article. So let me just share it. Close some of these other ones. Yeah, this is just an informal live. We just talking about different topics. Okay. Let me make this bigger. Hey, Janet, welcome. All right. So when I pulled up this article, it was talking about ecosomatics. And y'all, the water, my mouth dropped. I was like, wait a second. Oh my gosh. It just reminded me of that. Him being out in that water. Okay. And it just talked about what it was. And it also said ecosomatics is eco-psychology and somatic therapy for individuals, couples, 2+ relationship structures, and families that emphasizes a systemic approach to physical, emotional, and spiritual transformations. Okay. So therefore you get to a point of feeling of a home available within your body, and the interrelationship between such a feeling and the feeling of being at home on earth with other humans and living beings. It's almost like they had a sense of like connecting. Um, okay, y'all remember this movie called it was something about a dream. Dog, what was that movie called? It was one of my favorite. I actually liked the movie. Is it a dream? Dream a little dream. I think Dream a Little Dream. And it was with the Coreys, two of the Coreys. One of the Coreys passed away, but it was with this elderly couple, and it had, the young teenagers, and somehow he had gotten into an accident or something on his bicycle by the home or whatever. But they were going into this different energy and dreams and things like that, where it's just weird. I can't even explain it because I don't believe in all that. I don't do all that. So I don't know how to put it into words. But that movie made me, this here made me think about that movie, I should say. And so it's like even the family style at that location, the family style living that they have. We went through some of the pictures yesterday there at the resort or camp. Yes, she was there for a school program. So you can imagine it costs a lot and brings in a lot of money. That's why everyone is trying to cover. And to be honest, I don't think they do a lot of the school stuff there. Okay. Let me pull up, because some of the pictures we went through, it looks like just a form, and they just do all this other stuff. It looked more so for grown-ups than for kids. That's what I'm thinking. Let me show y'all. Okay, and it's called Finca Sol y Valle. Okay, for those of you. Hi, Miss Floria. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, Dee, welcome back. Okay, so let me pull that. Okay. So it says that at their location, this place is a sustainability learning center and community that promotes sustainable lifestyles. Okay. And so yesterday, let me make it bigger so y'all can see it. We kind of looked at some of the things, they have there, some of the pictures. And look at this. This here. A lot of things with water. Okay. So they believe in community building, their own stuff, growing their own foods and so forth. Let's see. You can volunteer there. Now look at this. Okay. You could just hit the. Look at this. Who knows what kind of stuff they're doing? Okay, it was this one of the techniques. You know, like what are y'all doing? It was just weird. I don't mess with no one on that demonic mess. Saw sinners once at home and said, nope, I'm never watching this again. And you know what, right sound? I watched it in 2 parts, and my husband will not watch it. Because that movie was a little eerie. Okay. I got it, but I was like, oh, I'm not watching this at nighttime. I watched the first part and I watched the second part during the day. Exactly. It is what it is. Right. That's what the feel that is given. Okay. So see with this stuff, they have like this water stuff. I was just thinking, I was like, well, did something go wrong? You know, were they trying something and it went wrong? I don't know. I just didn't want to just be putting that out there. I was just guessing, you know, based off some of the stuff that they're doing. Yeah, they grow their own stuff. Like, what is this? What y'all doing? Guess is this yoga? And now imagine Theo, Malcolm Jamal Warner at one of these places, at this place. Okay, what are you doing? What kind of circles are y'all having there? And that was why I posed that question yesterday. I said, did he really know what this place was? Okay, how did he end up here? And is this the place that they went to? Now, we know that in her post on Facebook, she was trying to go here and volunteer and do a homestay. Now, TMZ said that they went to a homeschool program. So we're basically knowing, you know, they do educational stuff here. So was this the same location, you know, that they went to? Look at this. What are y'all doing? It's weird. I haven't watched it either. Once I heard what it was about, no thank you. The details of his death just seem strange to me. Exactly, Catherine, me too. Yeah, a lot of people. And we're still waiting on Paperwork Man to come on back or at least give us some information. He said by Friday. So hopefully, you know, we'll hear something by Friday. Yeah, so they do a lot of this. So I don't know, y'all. They believe in this little, I guess, magic stuff and building teepees, community living, making and growing your own food, building your things, becoming one with nature, and really one with each other. Okay. A community and things like that. So y'all get the picture. Okay. It's I don't know. It's weird. Yes, I'm waiting on him to. Yes, we have to definitely keep him lifted in prayer because after he did that live Sunday, y'all, then the word started spreading. It really, really started spreading since Sunday. And a lot of, you know, his name was out there in his channel, and they were saying that he was going over there. So, hey, people are probably on alert. So we have to definitely keep him lifted because he's over there in different territory. Okay. And hopefully he'll find out something. I'm really praying that God will lead him to some answers. I don't want to be one with nature. I'll keep my life simple. Okay. Exactly. The picture you posted of him boarding the plane, he looked worried about something. Maybe he knew. Exactly. I think something was definitely going through his mind. On that picture, when you're going on a vacation, baby, you excited. When you know you're going on that Carnival cruise, you're going to get on that airplane, going over to Dubai, baby, you turning up, you excited. He looked like he didn't want to go. Okay, he didn't look too excited, and we didn't see anyone else with him. Now, maybe they were out of the shot. We don't even know who took that picture, because it wasn't like he was posing for that picture. Someone took it. They snuck that picture. Okay. Yes, he was only 54. Yes, right, D. His name is out there. Jay said, when I get a chance, I'm going to have to read more into his death. I've been seeing bits and pieces of things related to his death. It's definitely weird, though. Exactly. It really is. Right. He looked nervous. He did. And the other side of that, of being private like that, while he was there, because he had allegedly been there for a week, he didn't do any videos, take any pictures for the whole 7 days. Or were they still in his phone? And maybe he would upload later. But no videos. I noticed this one video going around talking about Malcolm's last video before he drowned over in Costa Rica. But when you click on it, you could tell he probably was at home, because it had the White House, look and stuff like that. So I'm like, that don't even look like Costa Rica. Hey, Shelly Shells. Hey, sis. That didn't even look like Costa Rica. So I'm like, stop it. Some people just putting stuff out here, But we didn't see anything. We don't know what he did in those moments leading up to that Sunday. We don't really know. And that's the hard part. So hopefully Paperwork Man gonna come on back or give us some details about today or tomorrow so we can see and get more answers. Because, baby, they are hushed on this. It's like no one has said anything about, the funeral. Now, they did confirm that allegedly his body was released to his family last Wednesday. Yes, so that was one thing. So from Wednesday through today, I don't know. Trying to see if I see any other updates today. Let's see. Nope, no other updates. Warner Brothers motion picture grid. Even his mom, I haven't seen anything, with her. Any, new information from her either. So I was just checking before we got off. I wonder what some of his fellow actor co-workers are thinking. Yeah, and I know. Y'all make sure you get ready. One of his co-workers, she's the nurse that played on The Resident, and she did they were doing a virtual tribute from his podcast. I think it was last Friday, and she was on there, and she said that she was even shocked and surprised by all these different stories that were coming out about him. So she, how she worded it, wasn't going to be like, man, this is crazy. She wasn't going to say that. But you could tell by the look on her face and by her bringing that up, they are watching this also. Okay. We're not the only ones wondering. We are speaking up about it, but some of them are not speaking up about it, for various reasons. I get it. But yeah, they are wondering too. But even in that, some of them, have already shared. Go put your stuff on. Some of them have already shared their tributes, but they are not saying, well, what happened with Malcolm? Because we're supposed to be quiet about this, right? They've already said what happened, right? So no one's going to push against the grain. It is what it is at this point, unless something else comes out. So a lot of them are going to be hush, like in hush mode. Like as this said, all odds to them right. Shout out to Shelly Shells for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you, sis. Yes, but those types of retreats probably don't allow technology. Right, Jessica. And you're right about that. I didn't consider that. But you know, like if you were to go shopping or go sit on the beach or something like that, like no picture, no video or nothing, and they may not have had reception. We don't know. Second Sin for you. I've been checking his channel, seeing if he did a short, a post, or anything, and I haven't seen it yet. Okay, if you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat. My Cash App is on the screen, or buy a coffee, and that is pinned at the top, and you would too be a sponsor for this live. He came to New Jersey when that happened to Whitney. Really? Oh my goodness. I didn't know about Whitney. I knew about Angie Stone. Wow. Okay, you love The Resident. I haven't seen it yet. Amazing how it amazing show in every sense of the word. Wow. See, I wish I would have known he was on there too. I never thought to look at it. He covers things like this and he travels. Wow. Everyone is talking and the wife is so silent. You can't make this up. It's like she has a gag order or something. Ooh. Possibly. But you know, the police that came forward, Elbert Leon, he is the chief over the tourist police. He stated that allegedly the family is the one that spoke to the OIJ department. They're like the FBI over there, and they've been given information. But he said he doesn't understand. He knows what his eyes saw, and he doesn't understand how they're speaking up because the family was not there. And the OIJ was not there. So I was like, oops, uh-oh. Apparently, the wife posted on some Costa Rica travel Facebook groups, we are going here. Yep, she did. We talked about that. Yeah, I don't even travel like that, but family does. Always books through a trusted past agent. And someone made a good point yesterday because we were talking about that. Why would she go through a travel agent? Well, like they said, that leaves a paper trail. Okay, if you were trying to hide something and your travel agent stated, and you could go here, go there. Well, she was already this secret lifestyle, so she may not have wanted them to know exactly where they were going, this little location, this camp, and all of that, because maybe he would not have gone. Okay, I'm just being real talk. This is why I question, did he really know where he was going? If that was put out there in this place and he researched it, like how we've been looking into it, something deep within me tells me Malcolm would not have gone to the club. Like, but he thought he was going to a nice resort over in Costa Rica with your own plane, your own pool and nice, beautiful beaches, and then got that man over there going to one of these little homestays. What are they doing? Okay, so I don't know, but that was weird. Oh, and Right Sound. I don't know if you were on here or seen the video yesterday, but that's not the only page that she's been on Facebook. Another, the Chanel show, noticed that she was found posting on another page, okay, called African American Magicians and Variety Artists. Okay, so let me show y'all. For those of you who missed that part. Right, Brittany, they're not trying to figure it out. Okay, so it looks as though she, on March 20th of this year, she said, are there any female magicians for kids ages 4 to 8? It's for a birthday party in Atlanta. Okay. So no one responded, but then I decided to go down here and click on this other lady's post because she was looking for one in October of last year for a children's event. And so I noticed that Tanisha commented under that lady's post and she said, hey, did you ever find one? I am in Atlanta and looking for one. And the lady told her, okay, yes, here's the email and tell him that I sent you or referred you, right? She said, thank you. So that was last year. So I don't know what happened with that. Maybe she couldn't find that person or didn't like it or price or they weren't available. But then that's when she went on here in March looking for a female magician for kids. Okay. I don't know if his wife is on IG. I couldn't find a public page on her. The one that they tagged her, her friends tagged her in on Facebook, it looks to be a TikTok, and it's a private account. And I'm like, golly, because it's private. You can't really see what's taking place on there. Oh, okay, it's on Netflix. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. That's true. So I don't know, y'all. We're gonna see how all of this goes. I do think because the attention is on it, that it is going to, they're going to have to continue to clarify and give answers. If people stop talking about it, then it'll just kind of go away. But it's going to look strange that there's no mention of a funeral or any of his friends, giving their thought. It's just, I don't know. It just feels off even with that part. He was the Malcolm Jamal Warner, but I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to definitely see. Well, y'all, I am going to hop off because I'm going to take my kiddos somewhere for a little bit. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Shout out to Shelly Shells for being a sponsor for today's live. And I will be on the lookout for any new information. If you came in late, we talked about some other topics earlier. So make sure that you hit the replay to hear about the other updates. And I hope everyone has a great evening. I will, if I see something, share probably another little video or short. If you haven't watched the lives from yesterday, we did 2. Go watch those because you don't want to fall behind. Okay. Because it seems like we are getting updated every day. And then especially when Paperwork Party comes on with some information. Okay. Hey, we got to get over there and check it out. Okay. So make sure that y'all watch those videos. But I love you all. Thank y'all for your support. It really means a lot. The like button is for free. So make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Shout out to the mod, Shelly Shells and Dreamy Girl for being in the building today. Thank you, Right Sound. I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Bye, Princess. Bye-bye.
Flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.